On a quiet evening in the bustling city of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, a dark secret began unraveling that would lead to a chilling tragedy. The story of a forbidden affair between Samira, a devoted Muslim wife, and Amir. Her influential father-in-law spiraled into chaos and ended in murder, a tale of love, betrayal, and unchecked rage. Samira, at 28 years old, appeared to have a perfect life. She was a mother of two, married to Faisal, a successful businessman. Their modest yet comfortable home reflected the stability Faisal's career brought. But behind the facade, emotional voids grew within their arranged marriage. Faisal's frequent absences for work left Samira longing for emotional connection and companionship. Amir, in his early 60s, was a respected patriarch within the family and the community. Unlike Faisal, Amir paid attention to Samira, noticing her struggles and loneliness. At first, their interactions were innocent, brief conversations during family gatherings, but as time passed, these exchanges deepened, transforming into dangerous and secretive meetings. The bond that began as familial shifted into something forbidden. By early 2010, subtle glances turned into stolen moments, and their connection ignited an emotional affair. Samira, feeling neglected by Faisal, found solace in Amir's attention. For Amir, Samira represented a temptation he couldn't resist, despite the immorality of his actions. Both convinced themselves their meetings were harmless, but guilt and temptation waged war within Samira's heart. As their secret deepened, Samira struggled to maintain appearances, but her behavior began to change. Faisal, though absorbed in work, noticed her growing detachment. Family members started whispering, and suspicion slowly crept into the household. By late 2011, the strain of the double life became unbearable for Samira. Yet, despite promising herself to end the affair, the temptation proved too strong. In February 2014, Faisal's doubts reached their peak. His suspicions drove him to search Samira's phone while she was away, and what he found shattered him. Undeniable evidence of the affair. Messages between Samira and Amir exposed their betrayal. The realization consumed Faisal with rage and despair. However, he chose not to confront them immediately, simmering in his anger and planning his next move. On the evening of March 6, 2014, Faisal returned home unexpectedly early from a business trip. The children were staying elsewhere, and the house seemed unusually quiet. He heard voices coming from the guest room, a space reserved for Amir during visits. Moving silently, Faisal approached the room and found the door ajar. Peering inside, his worst fears were confirmed. Samira and Amir locked in an intimate embrace. Time froze for a moment before rage overtook Faisal. Bursting into the room, he confronted them with fury. Words failed him as his emotions boiled over. Grabbing a decorative knife from the wall, a symbol of family heritage, he attacked Amir in a fit of uncontrollable rage. Each strike of the knife released the pain of betrayal. Amir, once a figure of authority, collapsed lifeless to the floor, his blood pooling beneath him. Samira, paralyzed by shock, could only watch as her world fell apart. Her screams echoed through the house, but Faisal's mind was consumed by the enormity of his actions. Collapsing to the floor, he let the knife slip from his hand as reality set in. A neighbor, hearing the commotion, called the police, who arrived within minutes. They found Faisal covered in blood, Amir's lifeless body beside him, and Samira motionless in the corner, consumed by shock. The aftermath was swift and devastating. Faisal was arrested and later charged with the murder of his father. As details of the affair emerged, the family's reputation crumbled. Samira's betrayal became the focal point of scandal. In court, Faisal's pleas for leniency under Sharia law were heard. The emotional torment leading to his crime was considered, and his sentence was reduced to 15 years in prison. Samira, however, faced harsher judgment. Initially sentenced to death, her life was spared only through Faisal's plea for mercy. Her sentence was commuted to 10 years in prison. The marriage, already fragile, was irreparably broken. Samira's reputation was forever tarnished, and the family's once strong bonds lay in ruins. This tragic story became a cautionary tale of the destructive power of betrayal and unchecked emotions. What began as a family bound by tradition ended in heartbreak and loss, leaving scars that would never